All right, everybody, we're going to talk about Brother Marquise a little bit in that whole saga of him being a little too live and as nasty as he wanted to be, if you're old enough to get those references. During the course of the events, which we'll examine, most of you are probably familiar with those by now, but had to start off with Snapchat. Might go to jail tonight for a racist. All I did was fight him. Look it up on Twitter. Put money on my books and come and see me. How would an individual know so much about making that request for you to put money on his books? Would I ever make a Snapchat like that? Would you? I don't even have Snapchat. Check this out, though. All right, so there you see him again. Fortunately for all of us, they took the time to break it down for us, just for those individuals who didn't know. On the books is a reference to money held for inmates, for the prison commissary, the Daily Mail suggested. The Sun wrote that Love is seeking to fund his flight. It further goes on to say in screenshotted chat logs, Love reportedly alleged that the driver had tried to run everyone over. There's video footage out there that disproves that. And that's when Love ran to protect him. So Love ran to protect the driver. How nice of him. I guess he decided he needed an extra shoe to the face as protection. The video allegedly cut out the moment that the driver called Love the N-word, he continued, and only filmed the assault. It didn't happen like that, but it's okay, Love concluded. All right, let's see what Marquise is being charged with. And got that fateful video. If you haven't seen it, again, I figure most of you are familiar and have seen it. Play some of that below. Love was recorded for the Multnomah County Prison for second-degree crimes of assault, repression, and riot. His bail was set at $260,000. I heard people saying in comments that they'd probably have no issue raising the $26,000 for his bail, that groups would get together, Black Lives Matter, their national organization would get together and get the money to get this guy out of jail. I've also heard people talking about the severity of the crime as not being enough, that attempted murder needs to be on the table, and some kind of hate crime as well. We'll see where things go. I don't know if they'll tack on some more charges. Police identified Love as a suspect in an attack that was caught on camera after its release on Sunday and went viral on social media. The attack took place during a protest in downtown Portland. My feeling is this, and you probably agree or see it the same way, that the only reason that this guy's being charged at all, in light of the kind of catch and release tactics that we've seen in Multnomah County and with their DA, Eric Schmidt, is because of the virality of the video. If had this video not gone viral, they probably would have cut him loose that same night, or not even looked for him at all. According to the police, the series of events may have started around Southwest 4th Avenue and Southwest Taylor Street, when the victim, identified as Adam Hayner, helped a woman who had some of her belongings stolen. I have a video where there's a lot of footage of that, and I'll talk more about that tomorrow. I have some other things I want to piece together with that. Hanner's girlfriend, Tammy Martin, got out of Hanner's truck and crashed to the ground. What does that even mean? You'll see the video I put out tomorrow with the footage if you haven't seen that. More like she was pushed to the ground and beaten. I don't know what they're talking about here. Crashed to the ground. I guess you could say, when I show this video next, that Adam crashed to the ground after he was kicked in the face. Then around 10:30, police say they answered a call near Southwest Taylor Street and Southwest Broadway, just a few blocks from the initial fight. Witnesses told police that people were chasing a white Ford truck that fell into the intersection. Okay, they keep using the word fell. I don't understand the verbiage. I wonder if this is a US-based page at all. The verbiage is off a little bit. Maybe this is a foreign source I'm reading here. Basically, what happened was Hanner tried to help out a trans individual who was getting her butt kicked and getting her stuff stolen. Not sure if they're saying it was a man or a woman. Trans, I don't know. That stuff, as I've always said, confuses me, but they're calling it her here, so we'll go with that. He gets out, tries to talk the crowd down. It looked like in the video at some point he's trying to get away, then they weren't having it. Tammy gets out of the car, they push her to the ground. Hanner drives off. A crash happens, they pull him out of the car. Looks like they beat him up beforehand because it looks like in the video when he's on the ground, he has a blackened eye on this side, but he got kicked on this side. So they'd roughed him up beforehand, it seems like. But let's check out some of that video real quick. All right, so here we go. So whatever's going on, this is the point, I believe, where they're just taking stuff out of his truck. And it was to make sure he didn't have any weapons, they said, according to a video I was watching. But Keese is here. I don't know what's going on because there's claims of the N-word. This guy's way over here. How far is that? 2 car lanes at least, so that's what, 20 feet maybe? Getting a running start. All right, here we go. See, it looks like he's beat up on that side.
Get him out of the street! Get him out of the fucking street! That nigga's mad, boy.
Whoa, look at that. You hear the kid with the commentary? Oh, dead, y'all. Alright, so that's the footage. Guy just sitting there. Apparently, Love said he said some kind of foul language. I don't know if there's further footage showing that. Perhaps there is. If there is, let me know. I'd like to see it. Just drop me a link in the comment section if there is footage out there. Well, let's talk a little bit about Mr. Love's past record. Love, 25, has been arrested in Washington County, Oregon, which borders Portland to the west, 7 times since 2012. So if he's 25 now, 2012, that would have put him at 17 back then. And that's according to records provided by Fox. This is a Fox News article. In 2017, he was arrested for domestic assault and domestic harassment. He wasn't prosecuted, the New York Post reported, but a judge signed a protective order against him. His rap sheet also includes 2 separate arrests in 2016 for providing false information in connection with the transfer of a firearm and domestic assault and criminal trespass. In 2015, Love was arrested for interfering with public transportation. What could that mean? What was he doing? Well, there's more. In 2014, a Washington County court established Love's paternity of a child in a domestic relations case, and he was also charged with a probation violation in an unrelated case. So 2014, 6 years ago, that would put him at 19. In that case, he initially was stopped for doing tricks on a bicycle while blocking traffic. All right, we can kind of let him slide on that one maybe. The bicycle didn't have any brakes. All right, forget it, lock him up. Love was arrested twice in 2012, once for second-degree theft and again for interfering with public transportation. A criminal trespass. Okay, so maybe they're saying that blocking traffic was interfering with public transportation. Possibly, right? He pleaded guilty to the public transportation charge, the newspaper reported. The criminal trespass charge was dismissed, according to records. He was sentenced to 18 months probation and a $500 fine, of which $400 was later converted into community service. He still owes thousands in unpaid fines from various convictions. Love also has arrests in other counties throughout the state. He was convicted in Clatsop County in 2016 for driving without a valid driver's license and without insurance. In Multnomah County, home to Portland, he was convicted in August 2016 of causing unreasonable noise with a motor vehicle while driving with a suspended license and not having insurance, vehicle registration, or proper license plates. He was most recently convicted there in February 2019 for failing to appear in court for driving with a suspended or revoked license. Love, who goes by the name Marquise Love, is being sought by police. Okay, we know all of that. Any more on the record? Okay, there's nothing else on the record. Interesting there that we don't see anything about actual time spent in jail, number of days in jail. I'm not going to sit here and act like all of these crimes are major, but it just shows you that since 2012, what you had pretty much most of the years, he's doing something. Who does that? how do you keep going along that path, right? And it just kept getting to the point where, perhaps this is just my opinion, in his mind, he kept getting a slap on the wrist or nothing. Now all of a sudden he thinks he's a security guard who gets to go around and kick people in the head. Having individuals take responsibility, everybody. I've talked about it over and over. Even a little tiny bit, just a little bit, they're going to keep doing the same old stupid stuff, right? Let me show you this statement real quick from the DA. The attack drew widespread condemnation from city and county leaders. The actions depicted in these videos are universally rejected as wrong, and the actions are illegal. Now he cares about legality. I condemn this violence, Multnomah District County Attorney Mike Schmidt said in a statement on Monday. Assaults on community members and police officers undermine everything our community is doing to bring meaningful and lasting change to the criminal justice system and beyond. Authorities say their investigation into the assault is ongoing. Interesting statement, right? Given everything we've seen and everything we know about Schmidt. It's like people talk about. Watch individuals' actions and not what they say. This guy says all the right things, but his actions are contradictory to what he's talking about. Police called on Love to turn himself in. Hanner has since been released from the hospital and is recovering from multiple serious injuries at home. The incident, which has attracted international attention, and there it is. The U.S. attention, we've seen Oregon on fire. We've seen Portland on fire for 90 days. But that didn't matter. That was just the United States. Now you've got international attention. And that's what I was getting at. That's what it took for them to finally start doing something. This one time. Next time, the next 27 times it happens, silence unless it gets international attention. It says here, has prompted harsh criticism of Portland government officials, including Democratic Mayor Ted Wheeler. By Friday afternoon, more than 3,800 people had donated over $137,000 to a fundraiser for Hanner, set up by his brother. Like I said, we like when people step up. When BS happens, we like when good people step up. Let's take a look at that GoFundMe and get a little update. It's now about a day and a half later from the time I'm recording this, so they were at 137. Here's Adam's fund. It was at 137 before, as we talked about. He's up to 144 and change. It looks like the initial goal was 120,000, so they've surpassed that. That's good. Maybe the story will get some more traction. I know it's a little old now, but maybe it'll get some more traction and he can get a little more. Gives a description here of what happened. Oh, we've got some updates here from Adam yesterday. His vision's back to normal. Swelling is gone. Tammy recorded a video of Adam. Tammy's bruises on her arm and a bruise on Adam on the left. Here you see the organizer, beneficiary, some of the comments. Doing the right thing, should be rewarded, not punished. Prayers for you and Tammy. I donated because this was a cowardly act by a group of cowards. Protesting is not rioting, looting, and nearly killing this poor man. I feel for you, brother. Dang, he chipped in $100. Adam and Tammy, I'm sending love, hugs, and prayers. So you get it. People are stepping up. Couldn't help but feel for you, brother. Hopefully the punk-ass little B gets his A handed to him every day in prison. Whew, we'll see. We will see. And I've got one more thing to show you real quick, and we'll just wrap it up here. Here's some photos of Love. He really does have a security vest on. It says security. Flashlight, I assume. He's got a little hat with a little badge on it. I can't read exactly what it says. I think it's the slogan that Antifa uses. I could be wrong there. But he's got a pen, everybody. He's got a pen. He's a security guard. Apparently he fills out paperwork as well. So don't believe the lies, everybody. He just does paperwork. Probably just writes up incident reports. Nothing like that. Nothing to see here. Nothing interesting. All right, so we got some photos of Adam here. And check this out, though. Adam Hanner's brother says Adam, who previously marched with BLM, would give his shirt off his back to help any of the people around him. And that's what happened. He was trying to be a good Samaritan, sticking up for that male or female individual, and it didn't go well. It didn't go well. Here he is again, Occupy Portland. not exactly the MAGA hat wearing, former German leader type individual that they would probably like to paint him as. There you see Adam again with his brother. Here you go, self-made. And once again, looks like a guy that you would expect to see marching with the BLM terroristas, and a guy that you would expect that would be in Antifa, given what we've seen out of them. Turns out he was more like just a normal dude, a decent citizen that was trying to stop what he saw was wrong. And I'll end it with this thought. We love to see individuals step up and help out individuals who are in trouble. That individual, man, woman, whatever it was being beaten and assaulted by several different people. In the video I'll show tomorrow, we see footage and it was like 3 or 4 different women that were going after her. We like to see individuals like that step up, but when you put yourself in those situations, be forewarned. How many of us could have withstood what he endured? We would have ended up in the hospital as well, because even though we like to think we're good citizens and we would do what's right, historical injustices that have happened long ago, people like to say, oh, well, if I was alive during that time, I would have did this, this, and that. Well, you had an individual here who was trying to step up for somebody who was being beaten for no reason, and he ends up in the hospital. He's only one guy, so I would just say keep that in mind. If you're an individual who wants to step up and do the right thing and try to squash a mob in your neighborhood or area, make sure the numbers are a little bit more fair than just you trying to take on the entire mob. If there's 50 of them, you might want to have at least 20 or 30 people on your side, because if you don't, it can get ugly. Now, the main question I have is Portland really going to be about it? Or is this just for show? I think this is just for show, and I'd be willing to bet a small sum of money that once this dies down, that this individual gets his charges dropped down again, maybe does a year in jail, maybe less, maybe gets some form of probation, even though it seems like he's probably already on probation. I would be really surprised, hopefully it happens, but I'd be really surprised if they hit Marquise with stiffer charges. I'd be really surprised. And I'd be surprised if he did a long jail sentence. It'd be great. Innocent until proven guilty, of course, as I always qualify. Seen the video, though. It'd be great to see this guy spend a lot of time behind bars, and it'd be great to see cities start dropping the hammer. Maybe the feds need to start coming in and calling some of this stuff hate crime. If it can be proven, having law enforcement starting to drop the hammer on these criminals, that's the only way this stops. If you continue to have individuals like the Portland mayor, the Portland DA, their senators, their governor, continue to look the other way and not condemn this stuff, it's just going to keep escalating. And I think all of you know that. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Take care of yourself. Be well.